Welcome to SportLab, where we break down the most unforgettable moments in football. And this one is going straight into the history books. Crystal Palace, yes, Crystal Palace, are FA Cup champions for the first time in their history, stunning Manchester City 1-0 in a dramatic final at Wembley. Let's break it down.
What did you think of that decision when you handled the ball outside? Did you think you might be in trouble there?
I actually genuinely thought it was inside the box. I was waiting for it to skip up off the turf because normally it's wet out there, but obviously the sun dried it up. But obviously it was going away from goal anyway, so I'm not so sure what the problem was.
And the penalty, did you know he was going to put it that way, or was it a sort of last minute guess from you?
No, I didn't really know, obviously. We did our homework this morning. He hasn't actually taken a penalty for City, but we know that he beats keepers for pace at that time that side every time, and we knew if we got a step in early we might have a chance of saving it, which we did. He hit it well and thankfully kept it out.
What did Glasner say to the players after the game? What was the words in the dressing room?
No, he was just talking about, he's been on about it since Marbella when we went on a mid-season camp, and he sort of said like we got the opportunity to achieve big things this season, and he said we've done that obviously, and he's so proud of every single one of us.
Dean, you talked about your father passing, how emotional that was. Just sum up how much that means to you to win today and those thoughts.
Listen, obviously I'm looking for him at the end. I'm a bit flat now because he can't be here and he can't see that, but I genuinely believe that he was there with me today, kicking every ball. And my neighbour actually sent me a video of the grave and said that she'll be listening to it on the radio with him today, and that means the world to me, and I'm so delighted.
Yesterday your manager spoke about him winning his first trophy as a player and how what it meant to him, the club. He had a 25-year reunion. This is something you're going to have there. You're going to be, a proper almost legendary status in Palace. How does that feel?
It's incredible. Obviously, like you think about it, it's not 2 years' work personally. It's 24 years when you start kicking a ball around at 4 years old, and so many setbacks, so many disappointments, and you keep going, you keep coming back, and to get the job done, it's incredible. Obviously, an Englishman knowing what the FA Cup means, it's actually phenomenal, and to do it with Crystal Palace is even better. And it's so difficult to win, even if you're a top side, and for us to do it as Crystal Palace is phenomenal.
And European football next year as well for the first time.
Yeah, that's incredible. Obviously, that was the aim. In fairness, at the start of the season, we've done it the hard way. Really, we left it down to one game today, obviously, and thankfully we've managed to do the job, because we were disappointed at the start of the season. Of course, we were. The ability we've got in the squad, we should have been higher in the league, and the run we've been on for the last 2-3 months has been phenomenal, really, when you look at it. So, but we left ourselves too much to do in the league. So, to do it this way is probably the best way to do it.
Dean,
how important is it that you keep your manager? Because obviously a successful manager, other clubs would be interested. That's understandable. How is it important that you all stay together now?
Yeah, of course. Obviously, we're trying to build something here, and when I actually signed, the chairman spoke to me about a team that he wanted to put another stand on the side of the stadium, but he needs the players to build that stand, and we've got the manager to build that stand. And South Croydon is the biggest catchment area for fans, and we're trying to inspire another generation, and we'll keep doing that. And days like today, hopefully, that area will follow Palace more and more. We'll see more and more shirts cropping up around the area, and hopefully this is just the start for us.
How special is Glasner?
Yeah, he's phenomenal. Listen, he's fantastic, and it's strange. I've had managers, and this guy's different class. When we were struggling at the start of the season, he was quite easy on us, to be fair. But the better we actually do, the harder he is on us. He was hard on us this week, demanding of us because we've been in good form. He knows how to treat his lads, and you know what, he's phenomenal.
You were brilliant today in front of the England manager. Not harmed your hopes at all, have you? There's a World Cup in 13 months.
I would like to think not. Obviously, that's an aim of mine. Obviously, getting my first taste of it. I want the next taste of it. That's something I've been working towards for many years now, and fingers crossed I can get the opportunity soon.
Dean, you said that you joined Palace to take them to the next level. You've done it. Your penalty save that basically did it. What does that mean to you? How do you feel?
Do you know what? When I signed here, I believed in it. I know what I'm capable of, and getting exposed to this stage, I knew today would have been a phenomenal day. Even sat in bed this morning, I was thinking about things, manifesting things, and it's just phenomenal to be able to perform like that.
Do you think about saving a penalty? Because that's something went through.
To be fair, Remy Matthews actually said to me in my room this morning, he said, you're going to have a worldie today and you're going to save a penalty. So it just shows you talk it into existence, and it came true.
You're a superstitious guy?
Little superstitions here and there, but nothing too major. But I genuinely did think that it was our time as a football club. The fans have been phenomenal, they deserve this day. And I just thought it's been so many years in the making that today would be the day.
What did you say? That is to do with the manager as well. Yeah, he always talks so much about being in the moment, but so confidently about you as a team.
Yeah. Of course, he's changed the whole narrative of Crystal Palace. It's actually interesting because we're trying to get a few days off now, and he's bothered about Tuesday. So the lads are probably taken back a bit by it. We want to enjoy tonight, and he wants to win Tuesday, and he's offered us 2 more days off in summer if we get 1 more point in the league to make it the highest points total ever. So
what do you think about that as well, getting the highest points total? Is that something on your mind as well?
Not after, to be honest, not after today. Obviously, we win the FA Cup. We're delighted with that. I think as players as well, like, you put so much and invest so much into it. It's like a weight lifted off your shoulders. Obviously, coming off the pitch and actually winning, you sort of just want to enjoy the moment and see how it goes.
What did you say when you were told you were going to save a penalty today? What was your reply?
To be fair, I just sort of went, I will, yeah. And then obviously when he got the ball, I thought, it's right, it's happening.
Dean, when we spoke before the final, you said you were closing in on that form you had at Sheffield United, but today feel like the culmination of that.
Yeah, I think obviously when you perform on that stage in front of that many people and do it twice, obviously with the semis as well, I've probably overtaken that.
Okay, thanks very much.
Right, let's get our first reaction to the FA Cup win for Crystal Palace. Pep Guardiola is Manchester City's beaten manager.
Your thoughts after that? I saw you stayed on the pitch afterwards to watch Palace lift the trophy. What were you thinking about that and this season in that moment?
Well, congratulations Crystal Palace for the first FA Cup in his history. They play a good defensive game, and we control the transition, that they're incredible threat, except the goal and 1 more. And of course difficult to control in the throw-ins, in the free kicks, and especially corners. But we could not score in the last 2 games, so we play better than Southampton game. We were more active. We were, I would say, really, really good in many things. We create a lot. We didn't score, and that's why we couldn't win.
Pep, there were a couple of contentious moments. Firstly, Dean Henderson.
Yeah, they asked me, so ask to the referee in the VAR.
Did you feel it should have been a sending off?
Ask to them. So
we don't get the chance to speak to them, unfortunately.
Me neither.
Can I ask about Erling Haaland not taking the penalty? Why was
they
that?
decide on the pitch, so I don't know. I didn't speak with them. I don't know.
Obviously, you seem to create enough chances to win 2 or 3 matches today. What?
Sorry?
It seemed like you created enough chances today to win 2 matches.
With 11 players in the penalty box, we create a lot.
But you've only scored once in 3 games now. What can you put your finger on?
Yeah, I think we fixed in the last month the problem that we had all the season defensively in scoring goals. But we didn't score. The opponent didn't score. We gave away a lot of goals, and in the last period we were so stable. We conceded 5 goals in 9 games. So we are stable that we didn't create much. But lately we are not able. I'm not saying it's easy. Against Southampton, 11 players there. But we learn for many years, so we need good crosses, good people in the box, and I thought the game will be quite similar. I didn't expect as much, but I think it was quite similar for Southampton, and that's why I put more players in the box with proper wingers to 1-against-1, because Savinho, the first 10 minutes, second half was brilliant, and Jeremy all the game was brilliant as always. And Omar and Erling in the box for the second ball, some clever actions from behind, from Nico arriving or Kevin. And we create No, I don't know. It's much more in that position, because they don't have time always every. Goal kick and every action is take time, they take out to the rhythm, and sometimes it's difficult to come back. But I think the chances were there in Southampton, no, especially second half, but the first half was not. But today was there. The chances was there, but we could not score. Sometimes football, it's happened.
Simon. Pep, you said that the players took the decision on the pitch on who should take the penalty. I remember a couple of years ago, Haaland handing a penalty over to Gundogan, and you weren't very happy. You said that he's your penalty taker and you want him to take the penalty kicks. Were you equally unhappy today, or were you happy to allow the players to decide?
I thought I want to take it. We didn't speak it. So there are questions that in the meetings and wherever there are things that is already for them. But that moment for the free kicks or penalties, especially, is how the feeling, how you feel. And they decided. They saw that Omar was ready to take it. I think Omar took a lot of time, with the ball stop, should be out to take the ball and after kick, to don't put more pressure on himself, and Henderson make a good save.
Hi, Pep. You gave Claudio Echeverri the debut today, having never been on the bench before. Like, what was the kind of the thinking, the inspiration behind?
My inspiration. I'm a talent manager.
Was it a dream?
Come true.
I mean, you always say how difficult it is to leave players out.
I want to be honest. I was not a bad decision. So the way he played, the chances that he had 3 chances in small spaces. I thought that because I saw him in a training session since then, and that listen, there is Kusanov, Victor, and him last 4 or 5 games always in the Tribune, and I don't like that. I know maybe it's special because it's a fair cup. It should go to the other ones, but he's moving really, really well in small spaces. So creative in that. And I thought during the game that the last minute, so, to find something with this type of games, when they defend 11 in the box, is question. If I take the ball, I dribble once, make 1-2, shoot, and score a goal. So the other option is make a crosses, but that is, I think, Crystal Palace love it. And he had the first shoot that normally is so clever there, and so precise. And after have 1 or 2 more, like Nico have 2 more, and Kevin the first half, and Erling another one, so the penalties. We had the chances, but unfortunately we could not score.
Hi, Pep. Can I ask about the decision to play Bernardo and Kevin as the holding midfielders? Was that because Kovacic was injured?
Yeah.
And
otherwise, Kova would play, but he was injured. No.
Do you think
injured? He doesn't feel good.
Do you think that ended up influencing the game towards kind of helping Palace, that not having?
Sorry.
Do you think that having just one holding midfielder in Bernardo?
I think we didn't suffer, right? Defensively, I was thinking, Kevin and Bernardo holding midfielders and the other one, but like I expect a game in that way. I want Kevin in that positions to deliver some balls. Unfortunately, we could not find him in the position that we wanted, but in the right side, Eze defend deeper than Sar. That's why Nico in the left side, we had more spaces to attack. But yeah, the game plan, it didn't work because it didn't win. So, but I think in general I don't have anything. In Southampton, I had bad feeling. But today I didn't have. Of course, we are sad because we have FA Cup. How nice is this Wembley, and the anthem and the stadium, the 2 crowds. It's so beautiful, lovely day. So we are here. We played to win. We play much better. For example, that again we play 5-2 at home. And much better than the last season when we lose against United. Today we did everything. We don't concede absolutely few. We had the possession to create chances. We could create more, yeah, but it's not easy. I'd say that it's not easy with 18 players there. And yeah, continue. Now it's rest, recover quick for the last 2 finals that we have to next season play in Champions League.
Do Mike before the embargo goes.
Just ask a couple of questions. I mean, do you think when Henderson stays on the pitch, it's almost destiny that he's going to save the penalty? Is that inevitably?
Wow, I don't know. I didn't study about the destinies, about the universe and this kind of thing, so I don't know. I don't know is the reason why, but listen, don't ask me about ask to the referee or the VAR, honestly.
Can I ask were you upset with when you spoke to Henderson at the end, were you upset with their time wasting?
Listen, he defends his position, we defend our position. It's not wasting. I understand in the last minutes, but since the 1 or 2 minutes, he's British, you know? To the English football, you have to play. I'm sorry, everyone can do whatever they want. We have to score goals. We didn't lose because Henderson was time wasting. In the last minutes, I understand that. But after it's true, they gave 9 or 10 minutes extra time, so at the end is that, but it's question of rhythm, you know? It's catch up for all the fans, you know, are there to let the 22 players play. So when you see Barcelona now, they're losing, attack, and the other team attack. The show is beautiful, you know. It's only, but I understand his position. When they defend, don't want to get it. Okay, it's question of the referee, you know. It's not question mine, because we don't have the rhythm that maybe you need, you know, again. And I understand when you have 92 minutes, 86, 87, you know. But I don't feel it. So my teams, I never tried because I try to, you know, play the game like the people deserve to watch. That's all. Saying that, congratulations Henderson and Crystal Palace, because at the end they defend really, really well and we were not able to score a goal.
Now got 10:30 on Sunday evening. Martin, please.
Hi Pep, you've got this game, this quick turnaround for Tuesday now. Is that a bigger game than this was in some ways, because there's so much riding on it, isn't there?
No, we have to recover quick. Yeah, it's a big disappointment today, you know, because of course we are here for the way. Listen, when we lose, when you play not good, you are sad, but at the end, we don't deserve it. But when you play the way, I'm sorry, with the final the play we play, and the players gave absolutely everything, and we create like we create. Not necessarily because they didn't see the stats or whatever, but this game is about to score a goal. So if we didn't score, we don't have defend, you know? We don't have defend, so we didn't score. Congratulations, Crystal Palace. And now, of course, we don't have much time to recover and prepare an important game from against Bournemouth.
Ian.
Hi, Pep. Very big summer ahead for you and the team and the club. Do you think it's maybe one of the biggest challenges you've had in your years at City to rebuild?
Right, we will leave Pep Guardiola there, understandably downcast. Manchester City manager after their FA Cup final 1-0 defeat to Crystal Palace. Many congratulations to Palace. It's their first ever major trophy.
Hi, congratulations. I wonder what your thoughts were when the board went up for 10 minutes added time at the end, how you felt, how agonising was that?
I spoke to the fourth official and said, I think 8 would have been enough. And he said, I think you're lucky with 10. I said, okay, I agree. And there were a few situations, I think VR and a few injuries. So I expected quite a few minutes. But of course, when you're 1-0 up and so much pressure from City, the whole game, to be honest, then the 10 minutes felt really long. But I think today it was our day. It was the Crystal Palace day. It was the day for our fans, and it just had to happen that we win. And that's in the end, I think there was no clear chance in the extra time. And credit to the players, how hard they worked today to get this clean sheet. Great goalkeeper, great mentality, and fantastic win.
Next. Thank you.
Hi Oliver, congratulations. The club have actually posted a clip of you talking about how if Pep plays at the same system again, you would solve it. Did he do anything that surprised you in that sense? And I suppose, what do you think the winning of the game for your team was?
Yeah, first of all, I think City played so well. It was so hard. You know, we never could get pressure on the ball. It's doing so well how they move, creating the situations, they drive the ball, they just want you to jump and then finding the pocket and going in behind. That's how they created their penalty. And this is we wanted to be more patient. This was our learning when we are too impatient and they find the space. Even there is no space, but they find it. I was surprised that he played with 2 strikers and 2 wingers, so very many attacking players. But it was so hard to defend. You could see Doku, Savinho, so great in 1v1. We always double up, so hard work with Ismail Assar, with Eberechi Eze. If you don't double up there, then they find the pocket and with 1-2 touches, and they did it a few times. And then we had the goalkeeper. We had 3-4 sliding tackles when we blocked the ball, and it was such an effort of the team. And now we have the reward, lifting the trophy and also scoring being very efficient, scoring an amazing goal. I think felt like it was the first time we were in their half. Was a nice goal, but so talking about too many football-specific issues today, then I think it's 90% how well City played, and I think 90% how well we defended with the passion we had, and unbelievable game.
Thank you.
Kurz auf Deutsch. Heute müssen wir auf Deutsch, Oliver. Europa League-Finale, FA Cup-Finale. Wenn du es vergleichst, war es das schwierigste Finale überhaupt und von der Emotion her geht da noch etwas drüber?
Antwort auch auf Deutsch? Antwort auch auf Deutsch? So, as a German, I will answer in English so that everybody understands. It's a question compared about Europa League and FA Cup wins. So I think first of all, it's a special stadium, the Wembley Stadium. You know, I was here twice. 3 times before, but twice when I watched England playing. It's also a great atmosphere, but it's something special when it's split in 50% Crystal Palace fans and 50% Man City fans. I think everybody could feel this special atmosphere in a very traditional stadium, and everything that happens before the game makes it special. Yeah, when the Prince comes and the national anthem, and the game was tough. The game was so tough, and we were talking about it, how we can find solutions or better solutions at halftime, but it's difficult to compare. It's on the other side. I think nobody expected Frankfurt winning the Europa League, and nobody expected Crystal Palace winning the FA Cup. But I think you can see now what you can get when you are patient as a club. And also big credit to our supporters, because we had a very bad start. There's 3 points after 8 games, and usually the fans get impatient and are mourning, are complaining, and our fans always supported us. They could see the effort, and even we had it's 3-4 weeks ago, we conceded 10 goals within 4 days. At City 5, at Newcastle 5, and we were 5-0 down after 60 minutes at Newcastle. Our fans were supporting the team, you know. And I think this is this special connection. And then you call it, maybe we are lucky in a few times. I think yes, but I think then it's more. Then you deserve it. Yeah, when you always stick together, when you always support each other, and especially in difficult moments, you need support. Yeah, then you don't need somebody who kicks you. Then you need somebody to hug you. And this is what the fans gave to us, and that's why I think it's a special win for this club. It's a special win, especially a special win for our fans, and it's a great win for all of us.
Okay.
What was it like holding the trophy? Did it feel different? Holding the trophy. And what did Prince William told you? You know, he's an Aston Villa fan, so no, he congratulated all of us for our performances, and you know, it's for me, it's the strange thing. It's now I feel a little like empty. You know, it's. I think I will start to realize it. Maybe tomorrow or on Monday, but the crazy thing is on Monday I have to think about the Wolves game on Tuesday. So I don't know when it will come, but it's something special. But it is, and I told the players now after the game, I don't know, I'm not the guy maybe with the biggest talents, but I have a feeling, I get a feeling for a group of players, and I got this feeling during the season that we can achieve incredible things, and this feeling is the same. There's no button where you can turn it on. It comes, and I know we have talented players, and we have great characters, yeah. And in the club with such a togetherness, yeah? Such a great work ethic, such a great environment, atmosphere, and this I think is fundamental for achieving maybe impossible things, yeah. And this is what a feeling that started in winter, yeah. And also maybe with the experience with this difficult start, yeah? Because we always stayed together. You know, the players never complained, and we are really demanding a lot from them. And then it started, and then we were in Marbella because we had 3 weeks no game on a short trip. And there I told the players, this is my feeling, yeah. yeah, now it happened. So it's just crazy sometimes, but yeah, unbelievable.
Sam, please, thanks.
Hello, Oliver. Do you think that the gap is closing a little bit between the top of English football and the teams like Palace, who tend to be in the middle of the table? We've seen Newcastle come up, Villa come up, and it seems to me, as you've proved today, that you can find a way to beat the sort of elite sides.
You have to know it better than me because I'm here for 15 or 16 months, and it looks like, I think Pep mentioned it, and if somebody knows that Pep is working here for 8 years, 9 years, he said that the mid-table in England is getting better and better, and the gap is getting smaller. And if Pep says this, I think it's true.
You can see 22%, that's all they had. Manchester City, 6 shots on goal, 23 shots in total, but couldn't get past Henderson. And it is third time the charm then for Crystal Palace, who'd lost to Manchester United on their 2 previous finals, but not, though, to Manchester City, as they'll win this by 1-0. We've talked a lot about Crystal Palace, haven't we? Let's focus a little bit, shall we, Nadem, on Manchester City. I think those highlights showed it all. You have the ball, but you're doing nothing with it. Exactly what we've seen all season.
Yeah, slight over-exaggeration there, Dan. You could relax a little bit. I think you go back to that first half, and the penalty miss is a big moment in the game itself. I think it's very easy to forget that they had that opportunity. That is essentially the biggest chance of the game. And I think for the way that Palace played, once they had the lead, possession wasn't an issue anymore. And they knew with the hard runners that they had up front, they had Mateta sort of battling for flick-ons. They'd always have the chance to sort of go and running behind Munoz as well, who was fantastic. And I think for City, I think the stats are they had 58 touches in the opposition's box, but what did they get from it? Why were they not shooting in key moments? When they had those opportunities, why weren't they clinical? Because I think the message in at half-time from City was to just figure out that quality in the final third, because they would have some opportunities. And as you saw from the highlights, there weren't a ton of great ones, but after Palace had scored, you basically saw them defending. They were throwing their bodies at everything, putting bodies in the right areas, being as good and as honest as you can expect from really good professionals. So from City, it's disappointing. Feels like that's basically been the season that they've had this year so far. But again, this is an FA Cup. There's no guarantee you're going to win it, and that's another loss for them. And yeah, they've got more to think about now with these next 2 games as well in the league.
Nathan, just tell me if I'm wrong. But, Jack Grealish and Matheus Nunes were on the bench, right? What's that tell you?
That's right.
The youngster comes on and misses the chance. Wembley Cup final, 100,000 or 90,000. You got Grealish on the bench. Go on.
Yeah. It's a strange one with Echeverria because he hasn't really been involved, like barely been in any squads this season. So when the sort of team came out and on the subs bench, you had Vitor Reyes, you had Kuzanov, and you had Echeverria. You're thinking, well, they've replaced Rico Lewis, who's just scored at Wembley in the semi-final. There's James McAtee, who scored in the competition as well. And obviously, Kovacic had an issue. So for him to go and trust him in this moment, I think it's credit to the belief that the manager has in him. But, like, if I was Jack Grealish, I'd be thinking, well, why could I not be here for this big moment? He's played in bigger moments than, well, he's not played in bigger moments than this, but he's played in this equivalent moment before. He's played for England in knockouts. He's played for City in cup finals before. So for him to not be looked at in a key moment, I think as you walk away, you've got to be really disappointed. But again, there are so many players throughout this season who do have that sense of disappointment because they've either not had the opportunity or they've not taken it. And unfortunately for Jack, you could argue he kind of falls in between both of those.
He played in the Champions League final.
Yeah. That's the message, isn't it? That's your manager.
And people might be looking, going, Matheus Nunes, he's right back. I've been watching him playing right back. He's not a right back. He's an attacking midfielder. Right side. That's where they signed him from Wolves. And I get it, Jack Grealish hasn't. I get it. He's lost his form for whatever reason. Partying, injuries, attitude, just lost his form. I don't know. But when you're bringing a youngster on, when you're desperate to salvage something from your season, and I know they've got a couple of games coming up, and you leave Matheus Nunes, who is an attacking midfielder, scored from quite a sum of money from Wolves, and Jack Grealish, who's an England international who's played in Champions League finals and signed him for almost 100 million or whatever the hell it was, and you're bringing a youngster on who, at a big moment, you need to have that composure, that experience. It's another strange Guardiola decision.
There's only one reason as a coach you do that, and it's the unknown. He's maybe sat there going, they'll bring Grealish on, they'll bring him on, hang on, they all know, everybody knows him. Why don't we just chuck the kid on? Nobody knows what's going to happen.
He'll give us something different.
Something different. That is the only reason. The only reason.
Kieran, if you're coming up against Manchester City as a defender, because you've seen them play this style of football so much, Is it easier because you know what's going to happen?
I don't think it's easier, but I think that the two areas that City have lacked this year for me has been them in transition, but then also the speed of their play.
Yeah.
Stevie mentioned earlier about going backwards, sideways to the other side. And for me, there's no problem with that, but it's the speed at which they do it. And I think that it has become a little bit predictable. And we talk about De Bruyne, don't we, about how, you know, maybe he's lost that little bit of yard. And I think that may be the case for a few other players in the team as well, which even just that split second that you move the ball a little bit slower, if you do that from one side to the other, it adds up and it becomes a little bit easier for the defenders to shift and get in position. And you saw today, Crystal Palace, their positioning, I thought Eze and the other kid on the other side, their distances and their positioning was good, but I think City played into that. They allowed Crystal Palace to get into position too quickly. And I think that becomes a little bit easier made it a little bit easier for Crystal Palace.
The only way we saw a lot of Kevin De Bruyne today, some good stuff, that little pass at the end, a lot of poor stuff though.
Mm-hmm.
And the only reason I think we saw a lot of them was because it was easy to get on the ball. I think had they played a team that was sort of going at them, and you can't go at City, I think the game would have passed him by. I think the only reason we did see him on it is because they had 80% possession or whatever it was. But I think anything that's not a team that's sitting in as deep as that, I think he's going to struggle.
When did we see anything through the middle of the park? We don't. The ball ends up in the wide areas all the time. We get that. But they can't change it because they can't go anybody through the middle of the park. There's nothing. Kevin De Bruyne, the one great ball he played in, he was away in the wide area. There's nothing. There's no like little interplay with the centre forward or even Marmouche in there. Somebody running through playing little 1-2s. There's nothing coming through the middle of the park whatsoever. If they get nothing from the wide areas, they don't give you anything.
It's very difficult, by the way, when you've got 11 men camped behind the ball and you've got a back five and you've got 4 and then you've got Mateta. It is very difficult to break down. So I don't want to take anything away from...
It is, but you've got... So you know as City, you know exactly that's going to happen. And then when you see them sitting so deep, we were sitting watching it complaining that they were almost on the penalty spot half the time. You've got to have a strike at goal.
Yeah.
You've got to have a strike at goal. And it doesn't matter whether it's on target or not. After 2 or 3 strikes, they're going to have to step out. Somebody's going to have to step out. And when they step out, that's when I'm talking about getting some little bits of play, because if one steps, there's a little hole.
How many times when you watch City do you see them shooting from 20, 25 yards?
Well, I think if you watch realistically, I didn't think we played a bad game, but yeah, they had the one good chance in the beginning. They scored and defended really well. But we had enough chances to score. We didn't do it today, and that's unfortunate.
Do you think Dean Henderson maybe should have had a red card when he handled the ball?
Yeah, probably yes, but yeah, what are we going to change about it?
And you had a penalty as well. I mean, you had great golden chances really to win it.
No, like I said, I think we had enough chances to score. You know, we had a couple in the first half, we had a penalty, we had a couple in the second half, so we should have scored, but we didn't.
It's strange for a season with City not winning a trophy, still the Club World Cup. Is that something you can redeem the season with?
I don't know. You know. Of course, it's not been the season that we wanted. You know, we want to win all the time, but this season we've not done it. So you have to take it on the chin, and sometimes it doesn't go the way that you want to. But we tried, and yeah, you have to move on.
And for you, bowing out now at City, this not the way you wanted to go, presumably.
Yeah, but it doesn't affect what we've done in 10 years. You know, I think comparing to a lot of players, I've won way more than other players. So. I will be forever happy and grateful what we have done as a team, what they have given me. So, you know, that doesn't change with not winning today.
Kevin, are you still hungry to play at this level and in this league?
I want to play good football. You know, whatever the decision will be. I know you're trying to guess where I'm going to go, but I will make my decision. You guys know when I know.
Would you still love this league, though? Would you like to stay here, ideally?
I don't know. It depends who comes and depends, you know. I don't, like I said to my Belgian colleagues, you know, you know, I have a family, I have young kids, you know, I have to take care of a decision what suits everybody of us, not just me, you know. It's when I'm 20 years old all by myself, I can make a decision that is very easy, but now it's a bit more complex.
Have you had any conversations yet with clubs or?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
You know.
But I mean, when can we expect a decision or?
Whenever I'm ready to make one. As long as I don't know, I can't tell you.
Any English club?
Maybe.
16 minutes in, a blistering counter-attack, Daniel Munoz bursts down the right, cuts it back, and Eberechi Eze, Palace's talisman all season, sweeps home past Stefan Ortega. Pandemonium among the Palace fans. They led, and they never looked back. But let's address the drama. In the first half, Palace keeper Dean Henderson came flying out of his area and handled the ball under pressure from Erling Haaland. City screamed for a red card. VAR checked. The verdict: no clear denial of a goal-scoring opportunity. Haaland was moving wide, they said. Henderson stayed on. Moments later, the Palace keeper made history, saving a penalty from Omar Marmoush after a foul by Tyrick Mitchell. That's the first penalty save in an FA Cup final, non-shootout, since 2010. Hero status: unlocked. 78% possession, 0 goals. City controlled the game but lacked cutting edge. Haaland was denied again. Jeremy Doku, Gvardiol, Echeverry, all thwarted by a red-hot Henderson and a heroic backline. City just looked flat. Kevin De Bruyne was anonymous. Bernardo Silva may have played his final, and Haaland's Wembley drought, now 6 games, no goals. For the first time since 2017, Pep Guardiola finishes a season without a trophy. Let that sink in. Last year, they lifted a treble. This year, empty hands. And unless they beat Bournemouth midweek, Champions League qualification isn't even guaranteed. Is this the end of the City dynasty as we know it? Let's put this into context. First Premier League win this season. October 27th. New manager Oliver Glasner stayed calm, trusted the process. End result: a European spot secured. A legendary cup final won. Eze, electric again. Munoz, tireless. Henderson, unbreakable. This wasn't luck. This was belief, execution, and history made. And yes, Palace will play in the Europa League next season. Imagine saying that in December. So, what next for Pep City? Is this the signal for a rebuild? And where do Palace go from here? Could this be the start of something special? Thumbs up, drop your thoughts in the comments, like if you love underdog stories, and subscribe for more match breakdowns, tactical analysis, and emotional football moments, only on SportLab. Crystal Palace, FA Cup winners. Let that sink in.